For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Bounce is back.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unsettled. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First, and my first thing every single day, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We got a lot to talk about. Happy Friday. You know what we do. The first hour we typically go local, right? Let's talk about what's going on here in California, in Los Angeles, or wherever you might happen to be. In hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive, get in on a topic, get in on a person of interest. Today, we'll be joined by comedian Louis Dix, and we're going to unpack some topics about the rules for navigating the world as a black person. Do we defy them? Do we comply with them? And what's the toll that takes? Hour two today, we have some special guests. You could call it the Black Lady Politics Show today. We'll be hearing from a couple of our African-American lawmakers from the state of California, Lola Smallwood Cuevas and Sydney Kamlager, and you, of course. But hour one would be the best time to call me because it's just me, you, and the microphone. Sherry Bell is on vacation, and so she will not be joining me today. So might as well go ahead and join me as a co-host. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's the number to call. If you want to get in on this conversation, you can also hit me up on all the social media. I like to look at them, whether I'm posting or not. I'm always looking at my DMs, looking at who is on the chats. And you can find us at KBLA 1580 everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. In fact, we're broadcasting right now. We're streaming on YouTube. It's youtube.com, KBLA 1580. While you're there, would you please like and subscribe and all that good stuff that helps the world know we exist and keeps us strong? That's much appreciated. And let's do this. Let's do this. Those of you who have been with me for a long time, which I know is a big chunk of the KBLA delegation that have been with me on Front Page and Street Science and the Michael Baisden Show and the Stevie Wonder Morning Thunder $1,000 Thursday, and those all the different various the Basic Family Affairs. Those are all the radio shows I've done in the past 25 plus years. know that when my father passed in 2014, I did a big event for him at the Nate Holden Theater. It was a tribute to him with my brother Raz, who's now the mayor of Newark. At that time, he was running Newark, New Jersey, with Glenn Turman, who was one of his first performances was in a play of my father's, Amiri Baraka, a.k.a. Leroy Jones, in New York when Glenn Turman was a little kid. Brother Jay from X-Clan spoke. Actor Isaiah Washington, who starred with him in Bulworth, spoke. Tavis Smiley was one of our guest speakers that day, and many more. It was an incredible. In fact, Dr. Melina Abdullah co-hosted it. Dr. Gerald Horn was there. It was a great day, and South LA came out to help me celebrate the life and legacy of my dad with performances and music. My late godbrother Craig Ramos played the drums. It was a beautiful community celebration. It was free and open to the public. It wasn't a funeral. It was just a celebration of arts and culture. Well, now I'm doing the same thing for my mama, Diane DiPrima, who was poet laureate of the city of San Francisco, who released more than 40 books during her lifetime and was an avid activist as well. She was an anarchist, but she was an ally before that was a thing. And so we're doing a tribute to her August 6th, which would have been her 89th birthday. We're doing that in San Francisco at the Castro Theater. So you're welcome. If you're listening from the Bay Area, if you're one of our Bay Area delegates, or if you want to take a road trip, the Castro Theater is an historic movie theater. It's beautiful. And my mommy's name is going to be on the marquee. And we have a great lineup of performers. Tongo Eisen Martin, who is the current poet laureate of San Francisco, who took the baton from my mom and became the next one after she left that post. And the poet laureate that came before her, Kim Shuck is her name. She's an indigenous poet. They will be reading. Cedar Saigo, who's the renowned indigenous writer, will be speaking. Actor Peter Coyote, who is an ally and longtime friend of my mom's, will be speaking. Amber Tamblyn, well-known actor, respected actor, who was a student of my mother's, will be performing there. Members of the comedy group Culture Clash, who had a special relationship with my mother, Diane DiPrima, over the years, will be performing, doing some comedy or memories of her. My brother, Alexander Marlowe, who's a well-respected jazz pianist, will be accompanying my mother's poetry as she is on video like they used to do when she was here. So I hope to see you there. I have a GoFundMe. We're paying for the entire production with crowdfunding, and thank you to everyone who has chipped in so far. It's a lot of folks. In fact, after the production is done, I want to give special thanks. All of the folks who've donated, their names are in the program. So it's really, really exciting. And, of course, this is put on by me, my brothers and sisters, and my mom's late husband, Shepard Powell. So just wanted to invite you to that and to thank those of you who have stepped up to help as performers, but also as producer, funder folks. And that's going to be all day. We're also showing this film. It's called The Poetry Deal. It's just a 27-minute film. I think it's a short film about my mom's life that aired actually on PBS a couple times. But we are going to screen it at that movie theater because it's a movie theater, and we can. And the filmmaker has made that available to us. It is a Friday, and there's tons of things that I haven't been able to get to all week, so we'll look at some of those issues. The irony of a $1 billion Powerball jackpot being scored on Skid Row in Los Angeles, which hopefully somebody very under-resourced got that, but of course it doesn't solve any of the problems of Skid Row, but it could solve a lot of problems and create a few new ones for whoever won it. that store gets $1 million just for being the store that sold it. Tony Bennett, the singer, has made his transition at the age of 96. A long and storied career. He's, speaking of San Francisco, known for that I Left My Heart in San Francisco song. And we haven't had a chance to talk about this. Maybe we'll talk about it on the other side. There's so many things to uncover and unpack. I'm looking for your phone calls. But the university president at Stanford has stepped down, President Mark Tessier-Lavigne. He has stepped down over controversy about the thoroughness of his scientific work. It's a remarkable fall from grace, and it was driven by students there student journalists digging up stuff and publishing it in their paper. Just another reminder of the many important roles of the press, whether it be black press, independent media, student journalism, especially those outside of the mainstream halls of power in media. How we do things that they won't or maybe can't. Looking for your thoughts, looking for your ideas, looking for your worries. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
I'm James Alexander, a proud member of AARP. 1967, I was 17. That spring, my friends, the Barcades, and I made Soul Finger. It was a hit. Number 3 on the charts. That summer, we became the great Otis Redding's band. First gig, the famed Apollo. That fall, we toured. That winter found me in a morgue identifying the bodies of my bandmates and Otis Redding. My music and their memories bring me joy. The Barcades, forever.
What would you call a joy that is as solemn as it is sweet and knows no bounds? A joy that's beautifully rooted in soul and resilience. This is Black Joy, a joy that reflects pride and honor despite every challenge. AARP believes the power of Black joy is limitless, and we celebrate this joy supreme. Join us in celebrating Black joy at aarp.org/Black community.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, let's get back to me and you at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. One thing we haven't even touched on at all is the fact that the police in Las Vegas decided to search a home in Las Vegas in the investigation of the murder of Tupac Shakur. And, it did get a lot of press, but what does it really mean? I mean, Tupac was killed 27 years ago. I guess it means that investigation is still ongoing. We don't know if it's a revival of that, but the police in Las Vegas confirmed that a search warrant was served in Henderson, Nevada, as part of an ongoing investigation. That search warrant was served last week on the 17th of July, and they're saying they're not going to comment further on it. But this is the first time in a really, really long time that we've heard anything about this investigation, or even that there was an investigation. There's no statute of limitations on homicide in Las Vegas, so it very well could be an ongoing and active investigation, but we don't know much about it. So just really felt weird to hear that. Of course, we know Tupac Shakur, may he rest in peace, was murdered in Las Vegas when a car pulled up next to the car he was in and shot him down. He was just 25. That's the thing that's so crazy. At the time, we're all young, so you don't think about it. But now, looking back, it seems just so young. And you wonder what he would have done had he been able to continue. But this is, so far, this case has not been solved. And other than speculation and documentaries, songs, and podcasts. But as far as the law enforcement piece is concerned, this is considered an unsolved case. Keeping an eye on that and wondering if we're going to hear more about it. It felt weird. We hadn't talked about it, but the folks that were in the studio were not really focused on that kind of conversation. This Stanford president, I guess the student paper dug up some stuff that had been reported before about this guy, Mark Tessier-Levine, and they say he had been already cleared of accusations of scientific fraud and misconduct. But what the students reported was not just fraud and misconduct, but just like sloppy, weak research where there were flaws found in your study and you didn't go back and make any adjustments to it, that kind of thing. And that some of his work was found invalid by other scientists, notably a study about Alzheimer's, and he didn't fix it. So the student paper did an expose, and now he's stepping down as the president of Stanford University. It's a big scandal for them because Stanford prides itself on its rigor, its academic rigor, and that certainly doesn't make it look like they are very rigorous. This other story I didn't touch on was a local story here, was the young man who was making a documentary about police brutality. Now he's suing the LAPD, because apparently he called the police because someone was burglarizing his home while he was working on the documentary. There was an actual burglar in the home. It wasn't that he came home later and found it. No, there was a guy in his house robbing him, and he fought with the guy, got the guy down, had a knife, called the police, and then when the police came, they arrested him instead of the burglar. Detained him, I guess. Tased him, detained him. Now he's suing. He's an actor. He's also a filmmaker. And he cut the guy's hand. I guess the guy had a camping knife, held him down. The cops come. They arrest him, even though his neighbor was going, no, he lives here. He lives here. Of course, she was afraid they would kill him, which they did not. But they did tase him twice. And eventually let him go without charges. Yeah, because he was the one who called the police and he was not doing anything. The guy that was robbing his house was later arrested. But they're saying that he was traumatized. He's charging the LAPD with false arrest and imprisonment. And that story should be a cautionary tale for officers, but also for regular folks. This is why we don't call the police when we're in danger. This is why I can't imagine myself calling the police if I had a friend or relative who was experiencing a mental health break. I'm going to go to Regina calling us from Long Beach. Good morning, Regina.
Hi. I originally called you for two things. Unfortunately, now it's going to be three. Did you know that Tim Morrow had passed?
Yes, we talked about it on my other show.
Okay, I just found out yesterday.
Yeah, really
because
sad.
Because I was trying to find out if he knew. Now, this is another person that was on your show, but it was a long time ago. Dr. Trina Cummings.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not in touch with Dr. Cummings. Tim Morrow, for those who are not familiar, was an herbalist, he had was a Common Sense University. He ran into some trouble with the law because they were refuting his claims, which happens to a lot of holistic folks, practitioners, and but he passed. But Tim was, as Tavis would say, he was chronologically gifted. I mean, he had some years on the planet. He just looked young.
And the third thing, since you brought it up, I wasn't going to say anything, but you struck a nerve. I'm the one that you promised me 4 times that you would play your mom reading her poem. And then instead, you read it. I know what your voice sounds like. And when you mention her right now, I mean, oh, God. I mean, that really struck a nerve. So now I'm going to put myself out there a 5th time. Can you play Diane DiPrima, your mom, reading her poem? A poem.
Any poem.
Any poem.
Yeah, I have to find them. I'd never make serious promises, but I will do my best to find that and play it. Find one that's appropriate.
Well,
for
I
this
have to know when you're
audience
when you're gonna play it, because I'm usually listening to Steve Harvey where you used to be. I usually come in on your show.
Watch him on TV and listen to me on the radio.
I usually come in on your show at 8:30, but after the Strawberry Letter. But he's on vacation, and I've been enjoying. I got to tell you, you've been doing a spectacular job.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. I got
to
tell you that.
Okay. Well,
now I'm going to be.
Let me see, because we're doing a tribute to my mom on the 6th.
Yeah. See, if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have said it.
So perhaps, well, I have to do it. Can you imagine doing one for your mom and not doing one for your dad? That would be all bad if they were both poets.
That's right.
Let's do it the week of her tribute. Let's do it maybe that Friday. What do you think, Andy? Does that sound good? We pay tribute to her on the 6th, and we play some of her poetry on the 4th. I think that sounds good. Gives me
Okay, now you're. And what time would you play it? Like at the beginning instead of playing the music, or at the end?
I would probably play it in the second hour of the show, which is usually when I have the most phone calls coming in. Yeah, that you might have to just forego Mr. Harvey. I always tell people he's on TV all day and night. Watch him on TV and listen to me on the radio.
I don't have a TV.
It's the perfect.
I don't have a TV.
Well, you can watch him on your phone. You can watch him on your phone. All right, Regina. Thank you. I appreciate you listening. I really, really do.
All right. Thank
and I'll
you.
see you on the 4th. Oh, she's mad at me for not playing Mom's poetry. And you know what? You're going to love it. I mean, my mother's an incredible poet. She's actually really, if she was still alive, she would be a great guest for me or Tavis. She's really progressive, beyond progressive, and very creative, super intellectual. So I tell you, I'm the slow one in a family of geniuses on both sides. But I'm happy to have the brain that I got. I'll tell you, I'm sure you'll love my mama's poetry, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you, actually. It's just not something I would normally think to do every single day. Why does a governor have to pass a law for LGBTQ studies in California, so-called liberal blue California, when we hear about people in Florida and elsewhere banning books, cracking down on the teaching of ethnic studies, black history? We think it doesn't impact us because we're cool, we're Cali, we're liberal, we're progressive. Well, Temecula Valley Unified School District begs to differ, and they are certainly not alone. Why we can't let up on our push for progressive politics here or anywhere after news, traffic, and sports, plus your phone calls on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Thousands of Marines and 2 amphibious warships are deploying to the Middle East to counter threats by Iran. The Pentagon announced the moves Thursday after Iran threatened commerce in and out of the Persian Gulf. It comes a few days after the U.S. sent warships and fighters to the Middle East to deter Iranian forces from interfering with merchant shipping. In Illinois, several former Northwestern football players are coming forward with allegations describing a culture of hazing within the program. The ex-players detail the emotional, physical, and sometimes sexual abuse they suffered while playing football for the Wildcats. African-American civil rights attorney Ben Crump and a team of lawyers representing more than 15 ex-student athletes are planning a lawsuit. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Got a sick leaving Cranberry Hills, Highway 395 closed in both directions between Macon Road and Buckthorn Canyon Road. Had a bakery that was on fire. They're still putting the fire out and cleaning things up. Heavy delays in both directions. In Ontario, the 15 freeway southbound before 4th Street was blocked by a big rig stalled there. It made it to the right-hand shoulder, kind of close to the right-hand lane. That's where you're slow from Foothill Boulevard. And Sigler canceled in East LA 5 northbound for Dibben. Still seeing some delays from Atlantic Boulevard. We're hoping that'll thin out, though, so watch that.
Like to shop local? Go to ComparianInsurance.com. Their agents are local insurance experts finding you the right insurance at the right price from national carriers. Comparian Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
When your ride fires on all cylinders, so do you. That's why Napa is on a mission to keep you in motion. With nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers, the Napa Network has everything you need to get up and go.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Everybody put your hands together for Magic Johnson. Magic is officially a part owner of an NFL franchise. A unanimous vote Thursday by NFL owners formally approved the sale of the Washington Commanders. Magic is part of a group headed by billionaire Josh Harris that bought the Commanders from Dan Snyder. Snyder sold the team for a record $6.05 billion. Magic is the second African American to have an ownership stake in an NFL team. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is a part owner of the Denver Broncos. Magic has had an extensive business empire for several decades, but this deal means a lot to him. On his Twitter page, Magic said, "This is the biggest achievement in my business career." He called his new role with the Commanders a historic moment for the black community. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, in downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you. 800-920-1580. That is the number. So apparently Governor Gavin Newsom is going to have to create... well, he doesn't create. He's the governor, executive branch. He's going to have to encourage the creation of a law to take away some of the power from these local school boards, because we see the same thing happening in California that we are seeing in Florida, which is conservative members, or it doesn't even have to be majority. It can be just a few squeaky wheel parents that decide they want to take lessons or entire groups of people out of the curriculum, can simply organize and get books banned, get them pulled from shelves. And in Temecula, they've had meetings, school board meetings going on for hours and hours, one almost 9 hours, because they refuse to adopt textbooks that touch on LGBTQ history. It's not an agenda; it's actual history, and that's just insane. Gay rights leader Harvey Milk, his history is at issue. But it's, one of so many. I was reading yesterday about how in Florida they're going to start teaching children, that elementary school children, that black people benefited from slavery, that we received certain benefits such as skills that may benefit us later in life. And this is a result of policy. This is not just some kooky teacher. So it goes to show you that is not just Florida man. It's also California man and woman. Let's go to Charles calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. I'm calling about this K-pop festival they got coming up. They call it K-Con. It's going to be at the Crypto in August.
I saw your tweet. I didn't even know what K-Con was. I was like, you said K-Con is racist on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, I have to look up what K-Con is.
Yeah, actually, it was an agent himself who called it racist. And I believe it is because
Absolutely,
on the
it's
job,
racist. Go ahead, explain what you're talking about.
Yeah, on the job request, they put out there that they wanted Asians and white Europeans.
Only. Yeah.
And what was slick is they used they went to Backstage, which is the actors and performers website, and said actors and performers trying to get around the civil rights laws. But they're not being hired to act; they're being hired to do a job.
Right. They're
so
basically they're like
this,
greeters, or right. They're like greeters. They're like docents for this convention where you go around and you tell people, oh, yeah, you can do this. This display is over there, that kind of thing. And you're right. But even casting calls like that, to me, they're not always that blatant. These folks, they're asking for greeters, but they only want white or European folks. It says Asian, white, European descent. Headshot
That's right.
required. So, in other words, black and Latino people need not apply.
Right, and imagine them the audacity to do this in Los Angeles of all places.
And the audacity to do it on music, which is at very least greatly influenced by black American music, right?
Oh, yeah, I was just reading an article about the number of these songs that have been written by African Americans. Right, and they work with them on their dance routines and all
right,
that.
and the dances, and a lot of that pop music styling doesn't exist without black American music. There is no K-pop. That doesn't happen
That's
without
right.
black American music. But, is what they say. Everybody wants the culture, but they don't want us. Well, I don't want to say everybody, because I feel like lots of folks do want us. Love and admire us, as they should.
Yeah, I agree. I think what they should do is cancel, or we should call for them to cancel the concert. Contact Crypto and let them know, we can't stand for this.
I mean, I'm not against that. I'm going to tell you right now, I seriously doubt they're going to shut it down, because that's big business right there. K-pop is...
Hey,
K-pop
just
makes
us
money
making an effort.
like oil money. That's what you're talking about. No, I'm not
Yeah, but
against
just
the
us
effort at
making
all.
the effort.
I'm not saying don't do it because they won't be
Mhm.
successful. I would never say that, but I'm just saying it's a heavy lift is all I'm saying, Charles.
Yeah, the battle should go forward, and I'm sure a lot of Hispanics would be upset with this as well as some of the Asians. If you look at that tweet, look at the comments. Some of the Asians are upset by this.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of people that that don't want to be down with racism, It's just like, oh, I'm Asian. Now I'm going to be fine with you saying Black and Latino need not apply. No, I don't think that's true for most Asian Americans, or Asians, period. It's just, it's pretty disgusting. I think even if the venue doesn't cancel it, it would be worth having folks out there, with some signs. Don't come to my house with that ish. But
that's true. That's true. Got to make some noise on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now you've educated me, because now I know what K card.
Science,
it's also ageist because you can only be 18 to 30. You got to be
right.
young, white,
too.
or Asian. Yeah. Interesting. Well, if you rolling out, Charles, call us back and let us know when and where. We'll be there.
Will do. Thank you, Dominique. Keep up the great work.
All right. Appreciate you. Yes, this is the place to call, 800-920-1580. People are hella blatant, but you're right. That is sort of a slick move. Let me just go around norms. You couldn't post that notice probably on Indeed. We're looking for greeters, but you have to be white or Asian. But you can do it on an acting website because, they give descriptions of the roles, although right now the actors are on strike. So, if there's a notice going out right now, it's a non-union thing. And they're probably hoping that hard-up actors will come and be greeters under their racist description because people are not working in acting jobs right now. But I don't see that happening. 800-920-1580. That is the number to call. The conversation on Carlee Russell that we had yesterday, really heartbreaking. The fact that some conservatives are using this as a reason to turn away from support of black women, turn away from believing black women, turn away from the fact that many, many, many black women are missing and we don't know where they are. We do know that human trafficking continues to be a huge problem, and African American children, and I'm going to call them children because a lot of them are 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, continues to be a giant problem. And the fact that folks want to use this as an excuse is really sad, because one woman is either just a pathological liar, allegedly, or is suffering from a mental health break, which could also be the thing. Not sure. Her boyfriend has reportedly taken every trace of her off of his social media, which leads me to believe it's more likely that she was attention seeking. Because I would think if you were the boyfriend, you would know she had mental health problems and you would be more forgiving. But who knows? I'm sure more will come out. The point is, as black people, we shouldn't be pathologized to where every time one of us does something stupid, mentally ill, or criminal, that it reflects on all of us. No one else has to deal with that. And I need you to stop doing that to black people, please. Please and thank you. And I'm talking to other black folks too, because we've been so conditioned that when a black person does something, we as black folks are quick to say, it's a talking point Friday right now. Black people ain't ish. Black folks are trifling. Blah, 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 blah. All the things that don't serve us. Stop. Just stop. Say that young woman needs help. Just replace whatever you were going around saying to that young woman needs help. Can we do that? I'm Dominique DiPrima, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hollywood Walk of Fame stars in 2024. Stay tuned to find out who's in next year's class. I'm Aisha Cairo with your K-Black Minute News. a new group of 31 entertainment professionals across film, television, radio, recording, and sports entertainment will have their names etched into Hollywood's history in 2024. One of the most celebrated names on the list was the beloved Chadwick Boseman. Others for the class of 2024 in Hollywood Walk of Fame was this year's Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh in the motion picture category. Other notable names include Chris Pine, Gwen Stefani, Andre, Dr. Dre, Young, Otis Redding, Christina Ricci, Brandy Norwood, Harry Washington, and more. The dates for the star ceremonies have not yet been scheduled. To find out all 31 inductees, visit youtube.com/Walk of Fame.
Attention boss ladies, it's time to refresh, restore, and renew. Announcing the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit, Saturday, July 22nd at Levels in downtown Los Angeles. Enjoy delicious brunch and refreshing mimosas while networking with other boss ladies. Meet representatives from Nike, Puma, and the Los Angeles Lakers, and prepare to unlock your inner CEO with the amazing Dr. Karen, founder of the MK Circle CEO Institute. Sis, it's hard to prioritize yourself. That's why the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation created the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit. Connect, discover, refuel, and realign. Save your seat now at restoredevents.com. This is an exclusive event and seats will fill up fast. That's Saturday, July 22nd at 12 noon at Levels Downtown, located at 888 South Olive Street. Register now at restoredevents.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Love be winning around here every single day, and you are part of that. 800-920-1580. Right now, we're going to the famous Molly Bell from the city of Compton. Good morning, Queen. Molly Bell, you there?
Oh, yes, I had it on mute.
You are doing that Zoom thing, huh?
No, I just put it on mute because I'm listening to it on the radio. Anyway, reparations in memory of our ancestors. God bless morning to you, Dominique, KBLA family and delegation, and, of course, the chat room. And I've enjoyed being over there. And I do remind the people in the chat room, before you go near the chat, be sure you press like, because sometimes I'll see that there are 30 people listening or on there or another number, but only 3 likes. That's not fair. These people are doing stuff with these numbers. They're watching them, and then they get to say, this is who's doing something. So we in the chat room and listen to KBLA, press all the buttons. I don't know all of them to do, but I'm pressing everything that once I learn. Second of all, I just wanted to say that when I called in, Dominique, I said, Miles, this is Molly Bell. I just want to say a couple of things and play Yellow Pain again. And so he said, okay. And then I said, you don't sound like yourself today. He said, I'm not Miles, I'm Andy.
He doesn't look like himself today either. He looks just like Andy.
So I just let him know. I said, see, I told you, I really am an activist, just on a few words. I knew that wasn't Miles, but he didn't want to we used to use the word back in the day. He didn't want to mold me and say nothing, so he just was just as nice as he could be. Thank you, Andy. I just wanted to say a couple of things, and I'll go through it quickly. I see the time is running out. I was going to say that, one, where's Al Gore? He has been the climate control man forever. And when the hanging chads were in with him and Bush, and he so easily just went over and said, okay, and we still used to call Bush President-elect instead of President-elect back in the day, but we didn't do anything like they're doing. And when it comes to third parties, I wish that all these good people that I like would go ahead and just say what Biden has done. And if you're running because of his age, or you say you're not going to live in the White House if you get in, because if Trump gets in, hear me, there will be no White House. January 6th was real. The Republicans are doing everything. They've changed our voting rights. They've changed what's happening. They're doing everything in the schools, taking out the books. They want to erase us and the democracy that we have. They lost the Civil War, but they're acting like they didn't. So I'm asking you, we've got to pump up what Biden has done. Yes, he's 80 years old and will be, 84 or 88 or 90, 1,000 years old. I don't care about that. We've got to hold up democracy. Yep. And about the young Sister Russell, I don't know what's happening with her. I know we need some prayer for her because they showed what things that she had searched before. They didn't know that before. They didn't go to the family and ask, give me something about her. They didn't investigate. They waited till this end. Give her some prayer. Something is up with that. She just going to just show up at her house a couple of days later. That don't even make sense. And I'm not, Regina, you know I love you. Regina could see that, and you know Regina is blind, Dominique. And she can't see at all. So you said you could see her, but she's Regina. We go a long way back, and so I'm just saying to all of you, we have got to stand up for democracy all over the world. They're taking down everything that we know and love. So stand up for democracy. Fight for it because we need it. Finally, I just want to remind everybody: be happy. Find your joy. Find out, because there's something in the atmosphere that, and I said this at the beginning of the year, that there's changes going on. There's something in the atmosphere. Go to the events that you can go to. Play your music. They say I play my music too loud, but I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to act like I got a boom box. I know a lot of young people don't even know what I'm talking about. So I just close by saying, Dominique,
they do.
You do what you do. And all you prayer warriors out there, you know what you've got to do. Seriously. You've got to keep fasting. You've got to keep praying because the struggle continues. But always, to God be the glory. And don't put your stuff on Robert Kennedy Jr. He used to say that his mother and father were on an island. That man is nuts in a fruitcake. Bye-bye, Dominique.
If Molly Bell say you nuts in a fruitcake, woo, you got problems, because she's a very accepting woman. All right, look, we got lots of time for you to call in. We're going to be hearing from some of our lawmakers, and comedian Louis Dix is coming up hour 3. We got a lot going on around here, and you're part of it. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? You might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, we got some technical difficulties going on around here. No music. Where's my music? Look, we got a lot going on today, and we are going to be hearing from some of our women lawmakers this hour. Looking forward to that. Is that the senator on the phone right now? It is? Okay. No, it's not. Okay, well, we're going to be hearing from Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas any minute now, I believe. Right now, though, we'll go to Ron from Richmond. Hi, Ron.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I believe this is my first time talking to you since you got back from South Africa. So big shouts out to them out there. You did a great job out there too. I was tuning in, checking you out. All the beautiful pictures.
Thank you.
You posted up and everything. Yeah, I was reading in the chat. Said Tony Bennett passed away.
Yeah, he passed away this. I just got word this morning at the age of 96.
Wow, live a long life. Yeah, rest in peace to him. My condolences out to his family and everything. And I don't know if you're too familiar with this. It's a young brother I follow on Instagram and all that. By I don't know his real name, but he goes by Gilly the King.
Okay.
Some of the younger cats out there probably might know who he is. But yeah, his son, I think his son got shot and killed somewhere out there in Philadelphia. So just wanted to send my condolences and prayers out to him and his family.
Okay, we can hear you echoing back in the background. I think you have your radio turned
bad.
up. It's always a good idea to turn it down when you're on the air if you can. But yeah, no, I'm not familiar, and I shall. I'll look into it.
Yeah, because I was Actually, I'm sitting there watching you on YouTube, and I got my phone in my bad. Sorry about that.
You got a lot going on. You're multitasking. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
hold that thought, Ron.
Continuing
our conversation in a moment. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information